So this is another video on figuring out if salts are going to be acidic or basic or neutral. So if the cation of the salt is from a strong base, that's not going to have an effect on the pH of the salt. If the anion is a strong acid, that's not going to have an effect on pH of the salt. If they're both strong, that's going to make the salt neutral. If the cation is a weak base, weak base produces a weak acid. Okay, so if the cation is derived from a weak base, the salt produces a weak acid. Or there's another one with this: if the cation can be hydrated, that also produces a weak acid. Okay. If the anion is derived from a weak acid, the salt is going to be a weak base. Okay, so KCl. Okay, so let's do KCl. KCl. And where did we get these from? Okay, well, KOH. Okay, and that is a strong base right here. And HCl is a strong acid, so this is going to be neutral. LiBr, Li is going to come from lithium hydroxide, another strong base, and let me finish that. And the Br is going to come from HBr, again, hydrobromic acid, a strong acid. So strong base, strong acid, neutral salt. KPO4. Okay, so KPO4. Where does the K come from? Well, K can come from KOH, which is a strong base. So this is a strong base. And the PO4 is going to be coming from a weak acid. So H3PO4, that is a weak acid. How do I know it's a weak acid? Because it's not a strong acid. So this is a weak acid, and because the anion came from a weak acid, this salt is going to be a weak base. So this is a weak base. And sodium comes from sodium hydroxide, which is a strong base. And the HCN is a weak acid. Weak acid makes the salt into a weak base. So the anion can be derived from a weak acid, okay, this is a weak acid, so this means the salt is a weak base. And the bromine came from a strong acid. Okay, so that's a strong acid. But where did the ammonia come from? Well, the ammonia came from a weak base. Okay, add water. So NH3 is a weak base. Therefore, this is going to be a weak acid. The cation, okay, is derived from a weak base. Therefore, the salt is a weak acid.